What is the best free online platform for learning English? In this video, I'm going to show you one of the best technologies I've come across. Masses of activities available, listening and reading and grammar and tons of audio work. This is perfect for students that are above an intermediate level. Teachers, show this to your students. Students, watch this video. You're going to find it really useful. Hi, I'm Russell Stannard from teachertrainingvideos.com. We're going to look at a brilliant free platform today. I'm going to show you some of the best aspects of this platform. Some people will know this platform, but perhaps you don't know it the way that I do. I promise you, I'm going to show you some fabulous gems. Particularly at the end, I'm going to show you one of the outstanding activities in this platform, but there are loads of activities to cover, and I'm just going to choose the best ones. Really hope you like the video. As always, if you do, please like it, click that thumbs up button. I'd be really happy if you could share it with other teachers and students so that they can find out about the platform. And of course, if you've got any comments, the one I'd really like to know is, out of all the activities I'm going to show you, which activity do you like the best? Let's get started. Okay, so this is the site. It's called Breaking News English. When you come here, you've got different news stories, and each one has got loads of activities to do. Now, you can click here to get to the news story, okay, or you can click on these slightly lower levels. Now, most of this material is from above intermediate. So we're going to choose this one here. We're going to click, and as you see, there is masses of activities that you can do. And what I'm going to do is take you through the best activities if you're a student working on your own. So let's focus on some of the audio stuff first. There's really outstanding feature of this site is that you can play the audio at different speeds, you get different accents, and there's a whole range of audio activities that students can use to develop their listening skills. It's also possible to download the audios and make use of them, perhaps on your telephone, listen to them there as well, so you can be listening at any time. Let's look then at the audio features that I really like on this site. And we're going to start by listening to the news story. And there's a little trick I can suggest to you. Just duplicate so that you've got the page open twice. Now what I'm going to do is click here and listen to the text being read. And I can click here. And then what I can do is choose slowest, slower, or normal speed. And I've got even British accents or American. We're going to do medium. We can click here and play the audio, but we can also click on this tab. And while we're listening, we can read at the same time. So we can click on this button to play the audio.
Germany's Merkel warns floods highlight climate dangers. This is breakingnewsenglish.com.
And we jump over here to
Germany's
actually follow
leader
it.
has expressed her fears about climate change after visiting the devastation caused by the severe flooding in Europe. Chancellor Angela Merkel said she was horrified.
So we can jump between one tab and the other if we want to listen and at the same time we want to read. Or another trick is, and I'll show you now, is click here, download the audio. So we can just click on that button now, download the audio, and I'm going to open that audio. So just click here. And now I can
Germany's Merkel warned.
Now the good thing about that is now I can listen to that audio at the same time that I read the text. Now once you've done the listening and you've read and listened to the text, there's a number of brilliant listening activities that we can do, and I'm going to show you the first one I really like, and it's this one here, dictation. If we click on this, what we do is we listen to a piece from the text and then we try to guess the word. So let me click here.
Germany's leader has expressed her fears about climate change.
Now what we can do here is, I'm going to just write it in Germany's leader, sorry, write it the correct spelling, in Germany's leader has expressed. Now I'm going to put that in and it should then show me that those words are correct. I don't have to do this in order, so I know that the last word was change. Okay, so I can click on that and then check that. And the other, I know that it was climate. Okay, so slowly I can rebuild the text. Now, if I click here and listen again,
Germany's leader has expressed her fears about climate change.
her fears about. Now, if I press enter now, that completes that one. Okay, and I can move now onto the next dictation. So I click here and I can do another dictation. Now, anytime I want to go back to the beginning, I can always just click on the back button and go back that way. That's one quick way of getting back to the beginning. And let's have a look and see if there's any other interesting listening activities. Now, this is quite an interesting activity as well. It's called 20 questions. It's 20 questions related to the text. And the idea here is that you listen and you have to write the correct question. So let's just listen.
Discussion questions. 1. What did you think when you read the headline?
So what you can do here is then write this question in the correct order. Okay. What did you think when you read the headline? Now, if you're a teacher, you could even use these questions in a discussion with your students, and then we can play the next one. So it's like a dictation.
2. What images are in your mind when you hear the word flood?
Okay, now of course you could do it another way around. You could write the sentences first and then correct yourself. So we've looked at listening, and now I'm going to jump on and look at the grammar exercises. Some of the grammar exercises are quite easy, some of them are quite difficult. Now, there's loads of grammar activities, and I'm going to focus on the ones that I particularly like. One thing about the grammar activities is some are slightly more difficult than others, and so I'll kind of show you as well which ones are more difficult so you're clear about the levels. Let's dive in then to some of the grammar activities. Some of these grammar exercises are easier than other ones. The prepositions one, for example, shows you the whole text and then you have to choose the correct preposition. So you can read the text, Germany's leader has expressed fears, and then we can choose from here about climate change after visiting the devastation caused by the severe floods in Europe. So one way is to simply do a simple prepositions activity where you're choosing the correct preposition. Once you've finished, you can click on the button here. Just a super quick piece of promotion. If you do like the video that you're watching and you want to watch more videos, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. Loads of different technologies here across the top, including special section on languages and also top 10 videos. And you've also got these special sections here. Finally, if you'd like to keep up with my work, sign up to the newsletter. That way you'll keep updated with all the latest videos, the latest blogs, the latest webinars, and also any online courses that I'm running. Right, let's get back to the video. Now, another interesting activity on the grammar is this one called word order. And basically the idea here is that you rewrite the sentences, and then after you've rewritten all of the sentences, you click on this button here. So just to show you a quick example, I've just written in the first one. I won't do any more, but you should finish all of them. And then once you've done all of the sentences, you can click here and it will check your answers. And I've got 9% so far because I got the first one correct. And you can notice now that that is not in the box. It's now showing me that that sentence is correct. Obviously, I would need to do all the other ones. Now, if we click back, one final really good grammar exercise is this kind of general one, gap fill. But this is much more difficult because the gap fill activity requires that you just write the word in. You haven't got the answer. So for example, this is Germany's leader has expressed, so I'm going to put here expressed her fears about climate change after visiting the devastation caused by, and so you're having to write the sentences yourself. Obviously that's much more difficult to do. Now I'm going to focus on a couple of other activities that I really like. One around reading, which I really like and I use a lot in my own teaching and learning, and also one of the vocabulary activities that I think is very strong on the site. So let's focus there now. So let's click on the back button. We've now looked at some of the interesting some of the interesting listening activities and some of the interesting grammar activities. Let's just move now to the reading. And there are a couple of really nice things in the reading. And I like this one here, text jumble. And in this game, you've got to try to reproduce the text bit by bit. So let's start A, B, or C. Germany's leader has expressed her fears about climate change after visiting. Okay, so you can see it's telling me I've got 100%. It's adding all of the words. I'm remaking the whole text. Now let's see what happens if you make a mistake. So devastation, some of the hardest. Okay, so it tells me no, that's wrong. And then I have to click again, and obviously my score goes down. It's a really nice reading activity. It helps you with grammar, it helps you with syntax, it helps you with vocabulary, and of course it's great practice for working with the language in the text. If you want to work with vocabulary, I really recommend missing words. And if you click on here, this one is again where you have got the choice, but obviously this is working now with vocabulary, not so much with grammar. So it's really working with keywords from the text. And if we click here again, we can choose, for example, Germany's leader has expressed climate fear after visiting. Okay, and then we would look again at the word here that we want to use, the devastation caused by. So that's a really nice word building activity. Okay, I'm going to finish with a real gem. This is an activity that I've used literally hundreds of times in class with my students, but students can also do this at home on their own. It's great for syntax, for vocabulary, for grammar. Let's get into it. I'll be really interested what you think of this activity if you try it out with your students, and also any of the other activities that I've suggested and highlighted. Please leave it in the comments section. Let's look at that final gem. Now, one bonus activity that I absolutely love, I've done this in other languages, I find it really interesting. It works great in class if students are working together, but students can also do this on their own, and it's called no letters. And if you click here, the idea is that you try to rebuild the whole text. So if we, for example, write the word leader, and then we press enter, we know that's in the text. If we write the word Germany, okay, or Germanies, we know that's in the text. If we write the word climate, so slowly we're trying to rebuild the text by thinking of the words. Now in pairs, students can do this in pairs in the class, or students can work on their own. If they're really having problems and they can't, it's easy to start with the easy words like the and and an, because they're always in these kind of texts, especially a particularly long text like this. And then we've also got the word fears. We know that's in there. Now let's see what happens if the word is not in there. So let's write, for example, England, which is not in the text. And then suddenly what will happen is that you'll get a list of all the incorrect words that you've written here. Okay. So the idea is to rebuild the text. Now, if you can't do that, what you can do, if you're really finding it hard, is listen to get more words.
Germany's Merkel warns floods highlight climate dangers. This is breakingnewsenglish.com. Germany's leader has expressed her fears about climate change.
And again, that's a great way then now to start to add the words in that you think. So for example, the word floods is probably in the text. Okay, the word but is probably in the text. We can have the word concerns, etc. And so we can add the words in. As you can see, slowly it's rebuilding the text, and below we can see the words that are not actually included in the text as well. That's a great activity for reworking all of the vocabulary from the text, and it can be done, students are working on their own or in pairs in class works very well as well. I really hope you liked that video. I would be very interested to know in the comment section which of those activities you found the most useful. If you want more free videos, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. You've got all these special sections here, as well as all these different technologies at the top, and there's a special section on the top 10 most popular videos, as well as one on languages. If you want to follow my work, the best thing to do is to sign up to the newsletter. That way you get updated with all the blogs, the webinars, the online courses, and all the new videos. You can also, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel, but don't forget to click on the bell to get the updates. And finally, if you do want to contact me about doing some training with your organization, then you can contact me from the website. And thank you very much. On the screen now you can see some more videos that you can click on that will give you access to other great free material that is ideal if you're an English teacher and you're looking for material, or if you're a student and you want to study on your own.